everybody, and welcome back to another episode of A Wee Touch of Madness, the podcast hosted by me, Loz, every single week. And now this week, I have a new guest with me. I have Adam from the band AstroGun. You right, mate? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Great to be here.
Oh, well, I'm very glad to have you on the show with me today. So, Adam, can you tell me anything about yourself and the band that you're in, or the music that you do, to the people out there who may not be aware of who you are?
Sure. I mean, I'm the bass player and the lyricist for AstroGun. We're based in Astoria, Queens, in New York City. I'm actually not the founding member. I joined the band in the summer of 2019, but the band has been together since I think around 2017. The founding members include Rob Kika on guitar and the drummer Astro Lee. And they've actually been musical partners for a long time. They've been in bands together, I think as far back as 2011 or 2012. So it's us three, and we have a second guitar player. I'm Rick Nocella. He joined a little bit later too, around the fall of 2020. So yeah, we're just an original rock group. We do indie rock and alternative. Heavily influenced by Joy Division, Nirvana. Bands like that. We have a lot of punk influence too, and we just kind of like to make the music that we want to hear, and that's pretty much like what we're all about. We have 2 albums out. The first album came out before I was in the band. It was called Internalization in 2018. Our latest one, which I'm a part of, is called Truth and Lies, and we'll hear a couple of songs on the podcast today. That came out in the summer last year, 2021, and we're actually in the middle of recording our third album, yet untitled, but that should be out later on this year.
Now, Truth and Lies, I listened to that and I really enjoyed it. In fact, I have 2 songs on that album that I really enjoyed. That was Sugar Free and The Way Back World. I really enjoyed those songs. They were my favorite ones that I listened to.
Yeah. Actually, so Sugar Free. Well, those are like 2 of our singles actually that you named. So the first single was Dreaming Skies, and then we did Down in the Alley for the second single, and then the third single was The Way Back World, and then we released as the 4th single, Sugar Free. So I'm glad you like those, because it seems like we're on the right track in terms of how we think the audience would respond to our stuff. So yeah, I'm glad you like those.
So you mentioned that obviously you're not one of the original band members. You're not one of the founders, sorry. How did the band come about then, and how did you wind up joining?
I wound up joining actually on Craigslist ad. I mean, it's
Craigslist
kind of
still a thing?
Yeah, it I guess so. I mean, like, how can I say? Like, we use Facebook groups to network our stuff, and sometimes we use Bandmix. We actually found our last singer from Bandmix, but yeah, Craigslist. That was how I found them. I was in a band previously, and we fell apart, and then I kind of like took a break from music, and then I was kind of like getting bored, so I was just like, let me see what's out there, and I just like browsed Craigslist, and they were AstroGun was looking for a bass player, and so I responded to them, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, everybody, as you know, because the rest of the band isn't here on this episode, everybody at home, you will know what that means. That means that me and Adam, by the end of the show, have to have a challenge for the rest of the band members, so that way they come on the show to do the challenge. So we'll get into that one near the end.
Sure.
So, yeah. So do you have any plans musically this year that you and the guys are currently working on?
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we're working on a third album. It's gonna be 8 tracks. So we're in the middle of doing the recording for that. So we do all our recordings using GarageBand, actually, all the instruments anyway. So we're in the middle of that. The instruments are finishing up, and then we have to like record the vocals. And then we have to get it. And then we're looking around to see who's going to like do the mixing and the mastering, and we're not exactly sure yet. But we're picking around some ideas for that.
Mm.
So that's our main focus in terms of new content coming out for 2022. And yeah, and like I think we've taken we've taken some new challenges and new ideas that we haven't done before on previous albums. That'll be showcased on that album. So I think it'll be great, and I'm looking forward to it being done.
Awesome stuff. So, what are the influences that got you into making music?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess for me is it would. I mean, this is. I hate to sound like every other struggling artist in rock music, but I would say Nirvana would have to be number one. Um, I remember like just the very first time like I heard that band play, or just from a CD. I remember I listened. My friend let me listen to the album Nevermind, and yeah, it was just amazing. It was just kind of like a personal experience that I never had felt before or since. It was kind of like I was transformed into another like dimension of like sound. I was I just like couldn't believe that like sound could be created, and and it can make you feel like this way. It was just awesome. I just couldn't believe it. And I've kind of like been chasing that feeling ever since.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's never happened. I mean, like it's come close a few times, but I've never like was able to recreate that first time I heard Nirvana, and that's okay. I'm not saying like I need my life. I'm gonna like die like unfulfilled if I don't. But yeah, but I mean, I guess that's kind of like like where I come, like where my soul comes from. Like whenever I play music, or I try to write music, or in terms of like music I want to hear, like it always like goes back to like that place when I was like 12 or 13 at the time, and yeah, so that was very special. And like a lot of bands from that era, I'm very influenced by, and a lot of classic rock and stuff, punk rock, of course. Um, um, yeah, I mean, in terms of like lyrics, Leonard Cohen or Jim Morrison, I think those guys are really great. So yeah, I mean, I tend to get like in terms of like the actual like influence from writing it. Like I tend to take it from a bunch of different places, but again, it all traces back to that moment in my life with
so that feeling that you had when you were like 12, 13 years old when you first heard like that CD, that Nirvana CD, does
Mhm.
that play a part in the creative process that you go through when you create new music?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it does. I just think it's like you get those like goosebumps, or that feeling of like this is like as you play or as you write something, and you get those goosebumps where like it's like good, or like you feel it in your soul that it's like this is the expression that you're looking for. It all traces back to that. And so like whenever I try to like write something, that's sort of like the place I come from. Sometimes like you can work on something and it has like it's technically like very good, or like it's but if it doesn't like if it doesn't like stir your soul in a sense, then maybe it's not worth doing.
Maybe it's just not worth doing. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good answer. I like that one. So, if you could do like a collaboration with anyone, who would it be?
I never thought of that before. A collaboration with anyone. Wow.
It's me, isn't it? I get it. I understand. It's me. You've heard about my amazing singing skills, and you want to do a collaboration with me. I get it. I get it.
I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it actually. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, I mentioned like Nirvana. I mean, if it was ever a fantasy to like ever like have some kind of collaboration there, of course, I mean that obviously that will never happen. But
Because of
uh,
obvious reasons.
yeah, because of obvious reasons. So yeah, I mean, like anyone from like that era, I would love to collaborate with. Any of those famous bands from like the grunge alternative '90s era. that would be great to collaborate with. I mean, like I'm a huge fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I play bass, so of course, Flea is someone I admire a lot. Like sometimes I'll have I've had dreams where like I've met them and like jammed hit them. So if that ever happened, that would be amazing. But it's a pipe dream; it wouldn't ever happen, and that's fine too.
Hey, it might happen one day. You never know. I mean, wilder things have happened. I mean, if you don't, and plus, if you don't ask, how are you going to know if you're going to get the collaboration or not? If you don't ask.
Okay, I'll write a letter and wait for their response.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know a lot of artists who I've interviewed a lot of people over these last 6 months, and a lot of them have said to me like when they want to do collaborations, they'll just message who they want to do the collaboration with. The worst thing they can do is say no. The best thing they can do is say yes. Either way, they say no, doesn't matter, they'll move on. They say yes, absolutely fantastic. But so you never know. Maybe send a message out. You never know, you might actually get that collaboration.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of a lesson for life. You gotta try either way. Even if
Exactly.
you think you're gonna fail, like you're gonna have to. You said you have to try and the reason why you try is just because you want to try, and like it means something just to try.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't try, you don't know.
Right, exactly.
So it's my understanding that you've been making music for a while then. Like you've been playing music for a little while now.
Yeah. I mean, I started playing bass when I was a teenager, like 15 or so, and then I learned guitar shortly after that. I've always liked writing songs. I think that was sort of the impetus for even learning guitar in the first place. I didn't really care to learn how to play licks like Jimmy Page or learn how or play like Hendrix, but I wanted to play chords. I wanted to like write a song as good as like John Lennon or something. So it was always like the impetus for learning guitar because I couldn't really do it on bass. Bass was something I played with people. I mean, like I used bass to socialize. I was very shy in high school, and it was a way for me to just like be like, hey, can I be in your band, or can I hang with I can offer you something as a bass player, because I guess a lot of people in high school liked to play guitar. There wasn't that many bass players, so
Yeah.
so like I've always used bass to play with people. Like whenever I'm in bands, I've always played bass. I've never played guitar in bands. I always play guitar by myself, or I write songs on guitar, but by myself, and then like I'll show someone like else, down the line. But yeah, like to be collaborative, I would say, with people. It's always been as a bass player.
So what is the one thing then that you know now that you wish you could have told yourself at the start of your musical journey?
I guess not care. Just not care like what people will think. I mean, you just like don't let that hold you back. Like in a sense, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I've been writing songs for a very long time, since I was a teenager. But I only did my first open mic when I was in my 30s. I mean, like I'm 38 now. I think I did my first open mic when I was like 30 or 31, and so like, and leading up to that, I was always like making excuses like, oh, like these songs suck, or like I have a terrible voice and blah blah blah. But like eventually, it's just like I just like kind of go up there and suck and let people like judge you, and like, but like it's like, who cares, and it turns out that you're not as bad as you think you are. You're like, especially like if you do it for a long time. So
Yeah.
I like, so like like I think like, I mean, like being shy is good, because like it gives you a sense of integrity. Like you want to be like good, and so like you want to you hold yourself to a high standard, and that's good too. But you shouldn't let that inhibit you. Like you shouldn't let your high standards of yourself like hold you back from like moving forward, or for showing your art to something.
So basically, like you can have a high opinion of yourself and your music, but don't put yourself on a pedestal thinking that you're a god of music.
Yeah, like don't that too. I mean, like like having like an ego, is kind of a turn off too, and that could kind of like clouds your judgment as to who you really are, and what your music means to people. But I'm just saying, like, like if you think your playing has to be like perfect or sound like this way, and if it's not that, then it's not worth showing or it's not worth doing. Like that's wrong too. Like you should still do it, or like part of music is to share it with people. That's a part of all art, is to share it with people. I mean, it's almost not art if you don't. I mean, kind of, like there's a reason why there's a museum with paintings, so people can see it. So I mean, it's the same with music. I mean, um, if you write it, it should be, if you write it and you can perform it, it should be shown off to I mean, even just one person. Like it's meant to be like it's meant to be a shared experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where can the people at home, either watching this or listening to this, or if they're cleaning their kitchen or cleaning their house and they've just got playing it, they've just got this playing in the background, where can they connect with you online and the band if they just want to drop in and say hi or give you, or like, or something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can find us. You can find the music on all streaming platforms. So again, my band is AstroGun. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Pretty much all the major platforms you can find us. We're on Facebook too. I guess like if you were to like reach out, send us a DM. Like that'd probably be the best way. So it's just facebook.com/AstroGun. Very simple. So you can, or like if you want to like reach out to me directly, you can find me. I guess my handle would be facebook.com/ilpremio. So it's ILPREMIO.
And if you missed that, I will have the tags for those somewhere floating around on the screen that I'll sort out in post production. I'll probably have them on this side of the screen for a change. I don't often put stuff on that side of the screen. And if you are just listening to this in the background and you still didn't catch that, I will have those links down in the description as well, so you can go check out. And I highly suggest that you do, because the music that these guys do is really good and you will enjoy it. And I'm not just saying that.
Thank you.
So, what is the message that you would like to give to your fans who might be listening or watching this?
I'm not sure if we have a real message. I mean, like our band is just all about making the music that we want to make and we want to hear. And it's rock alternative, it's indie music. It's heavily influenced by 90s grunge, I would say, punk. So the message is, like if you you dig it, then like show us support and reach out. And if you're in a band too, we'll exchange info and we can like support each other. So it's kind of a struggle to be heard as as an independent rock alternative artist. It seems it seems to be more and more like not in the conscious of the world public. Like bands a generation ago like are not as famous as they are now. So it's hard to be heard. So we got to support each other. So I guess that would be like part of the message. If is to just show support not only for us if you like us, but for all bands like us that are independent and are are struggling and are struggling to like get their voice out there. Just show some love and support. Play our streams on Spotify. If you feel like you want to reach out, please don't be shy. We will respond to any question or comment that you have.
See, now right there, that is just good advice for anyone. Like support each other, support your local band, support your local anything. That's really good advice there. And as I say every week, everyone, the stuff that my guests say, the answers that they give to some of my questions, listen to what they say, listen to the advice that they're given, because not only are they going through what you are currently going through as a musician, as an artist, as a band, they've also done it as well. So if you're someone new in the industry, if you're a new singer-songwriter, and you want to try and get a step up, you're looking for advice, you don't know where to go, watch this show. You get quality advice every single week, and I don't charge you a penny. All I ask is that you stream my shit and you watch my show.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right, I want to talk about a new release that you've got coming out in the next couple of weeks. Down in the Alley. Can you tell me anything about that song and what the message was in that song?
Okay, yeah. So Down in the Alley, as I mentioned earlier, was the second single from the album, and we have a music video for that coming out in a few weeks. So we think it's going to be really cool. It was directed and produced by a good friend of mine, and also a really good filmmaker, BG Aramayo. We can also leave his link too. It's aramayofilms.com if anybody's looking for a director for their music videos as well.
Is that just for the New York area?
That would be for the New York area, yes.
Yeah, we'll probably have to state probably just for the New York area. So if you're in California, or if you're in the UK or Canada, or like a couple of my previous guests in Vietnam and Honduras, unfortunately you can't use this service. I'm sorry.
But if you are in New York, maybe it's useful.
If you're in New York and the Big Apple, hit them up.
Yeah, so that's the second single. I think it's a really cool track. I mean, there isn't a message to it. I mean, the song anyway. I mean, it's sort of a dark song, lyrically. It deals with feelings of anxiety and depression, getting screwed over. But there's also a hopeful element to it. There's sort of a redemption aspect to the lyrics as well. Yeah. And I try to not make lyrics so dark or so light. I try to mix in different tones, or different expressions, or different feelings, I guess I would say, in the words. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we are going to play some of that song for everybody at home. So, Adam, how long do you reckon we should play some of that song? Should we play the full track, half a track, a minute?
Yeah, I mean, maybe just if you can't do the whole song, I mean, we can just go through the first verse and chorus. That should be like a minute and a half or so.
We can do the full song if you like.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah, let's just do the full song. Why not?
We'll do the full song. We'll do the full song for everybody, so that way you can get an idea of what these guys are about. And if you like it, if you like what you hear, put it down in the comments, and I'll let Adam know. If you don't like it, put it down in the comments, and I'll let Adam know, because any feedback is still feedback at the end of the day. So here is the song, Down in the Alley.
Running through an underworld of
So that was down in the alley. Let us know what you think by putting it down in the comment section below. So, Adam, we are now getting to the nitty-gritty part of the interview where I'm going to start asking you some tough questions. I'm just going to start asking you some difficult questions. You may feel a little bit uncomfortable with some of these questions. I can assure you that is my intention. Okay? If you feel uncomfortable, just let me know. And if you want to stop, let me know. And I will absolutely flat out ignore you and carry on.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Sure.
What is the most embarrassing thing we would find in your browser search history?
I don't know. I would I actually cleared my browser search history, so you wouldn't find anything.
Oh, naughty! Looking at some naughty shit, were you?
So you wouldn't find it. So like that's gonna be like my answer.
That's you cleared your browser history, so ain't gonna find nothing.
Sorry.
Okay. So what is the most trouble you have been in? Now, nothing illegal. Don't want you to indict yourself in something and the cops to come knocking on your door because you are in America, and we all know that the police over there have a policy of shoot first, ask questions second. So
Okay.
don't incite yourself in anything. But what is the most trouble you've been in?
I mean, I haven't been in like too much trouble. I mean,
don't say that you haven't been in any trouble, because that always annoys me. I get it every week. There's always one person, even especially when I interview like a whole band. There's always one person that goes, "Oh, I'm a good boy. I don't do anything," and then a couple of minutes later, they hit out with the most ridiculous fucking story I've ever heard.
I mean, I did think of one thing. I remember when I was in college. I was actually it was kind of a band story. I was in a band in college, and the lead singer had at the time he had a car with a stick shift, and parking was difficult on campus. He lived off campus and he would drive in, and he asked me to like park his car, and I said sure. And then I had him pin his car, and he said, "Oh, it's a stick shift." I'm like, "Oh, wait, I don't know how to drive a stick shift." But then I thought to myself, well, all I have to do is kind of like roll it, and like roll it like up a few feet, and then like park it. So I thought, yeah, no, it's fine. You know, it's not a big deal. So he like threw me the keys, and I went to go do it. And you know, long story short, I guess I didn't know how to like put the brake on properly, and long story short was the car like rolled down the hill completely and smashed, and there was like I think there was like a group of kids near like just hanging out, you know, near like where the car was. I was like screaming like watch out, you know, and the car like, you know, like rolled down the hill and like smashed into like one car, and then like it kind of like twisted around and like smashed like a different car, and that was pretty bad. Definitely got in trouble by a lot of people. Thankfully I wasn't expelled, but yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
I mean, like, I got out of the. I mean, like it didn't roll initially because like I parked it, and like I was able to like get it to roll. Like at first I couldn't get the car to start, you know, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then like I finally did, and I got it to roll into the spot, and it seemed fine. I got out of the car, and then like I walk away a few feet. I think someone had said like, "Oh my God, the car is rolling," and I turned around and it was like rolling like down the hill. Like, oh shit. So you always use the emergency brake with these stick shift cars.
Yeah, that's good advice for anyone. So what has been your favorite song to perform when you're performing it live?
That's good. We have a song from the first album called Leap of Faith. We always kind of play that one. That's a really fun song to play. live, and it's a good song too. It was one of the singles from the first album. It has a lot of energy, and the like lyrics are kind of uplifting. So I always like that song. I actually, like, when I first joined the band, that was a song that I guess like kind of like hooked me. I'm like, oh, they have his song. This is a pretty good song. Like, maybe I should reach out to these guys and see if they want to jam. So that's probably like one of the songs I like to play a lot live.
What about your worst song then to perform?
Oh, there's a bunch of those. We actually have songs that we just don't play anymore because we just don't like them. I'm not gonna say which ones now, but I guess a song that we did play live that we kind of weren't like, like always keen about playing. We would always like kind of like include it, like if we had to really extend the set list. There's a song called Sunshine. Actually, the drummer likes that song a lot, and like me and the guitarist are just like, this one, I don't know, like it's okay. I mean, like, none of the songs are like all that bad, but it just always seems like the first song that like gets cut, like whenever we have to like shorten like set list a little bit, like, oh, let's cut that one out. Yeah.
So, what has been your favorite venue to perform at then? And what has been your least favorite is after that?
I guess I guess our favorite one would have to be Desmond's. It's a bar in Midtown in Manhattan. Only because like it's kind of like our go-to. We kind of like have played there a lot, and they always sort of welcome us. And it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like our bar, but it's just always like solid. Always like nice people there, and like it's usually like a decent crowd with people who are into like original rock music and original alternative music. So that was good. Like a bad venue.
If you don't want to name the venue in case you burn the bridge, that's fine.
Well, I think the bridge is already burned. There was I would name it, but I can't even like remember the name. But there was another like bar like in that same area. And they actually shut down the bar like in the middle of our set. That was like a real like dick move. So yeah, so at least safe to say like we never played there again. I don't know like what happened. Like it was a question of there was like a bunch of bands playing, and like each band like took up more time, and then they let us on, and like instead of giving us heads up as to shorten our set or whatever, they just like started like shut the place down like as we were still playing. So like that was not cool. And,
yeah, that sounds like a bit of a dick move. I think they would have at least like told you before you went up. So, oh, by the way, this is when our bar is closing, just so you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, it's a bit of a dick move.
Yeah.
No. So, what are your thoughts on the music industry as it stands today then?
I think in terms of I think like there is a lot of talent out there, and I think like it hasn't been easier. It's been more easier than ever to make music, compared to say a generation ago or more. You have a lot of software. You have like GarageBand, as I mentioned, and pretty much anybody that can like anybody can sort of like express themselves musically, like I think, and put it online, and they there's so many streaming platforms in which you can get your voice out there. So in that sense, it's good. But at the same time, I feel like there's because there's so much talent, it can be like hard to break through and to grab people's attention. And I think a lot of I think because of that, music is becoming very niche. I mean, like you don't have like big like rock stars anymore. Like because like people could see there used to be only one place to hear music, and that was on the radio. And so now there's so many different ways to hear music, like with all the streaming platforms, and it's not just radio anymore. Or like if you want to learn about like the hot new artists, you would just watch like the Grammys, 30 years ago. Now you can kind of, you don't need that anymore. You can kind of like hear like any kind of music, anywhere. Like there's so many options. So in that sense, like it's talent is sort of like diffuse into different niches. Doesn't mean like there's no talent out there. I think like there might be more talent out there now than there ever was. So there's always a place to find great music, and I think it's available everywhere. It can be hard to find because of these reasons, but it's definitely out there though.
So then, in your opinion, what are your thoughts on how the internet has impacted the music industry and the music world, in your opinion?
I mean, as I had said, it's kind of like pros and cons. I mean, I think it's great in a sense that I think it's been a vehicle to allow people to make music and to display talent, which maybe in the past they weren't able to for a variety of reasons. But I think it's also a way to like put a lot of bad music too online, So it can be hard. So because of the sheer volume of content, it can kind of be tough to wade through all the music and kind of discover things that are really talented, or I guess some things that really speak to you at the soul. So I guess pros and cons, I would say.
Pros and cons. Yeah. So if there was something about the industry that you had the power to change, what would it be that you would change, and why?
Power to change artists basically don't make any money. I mean, in terms of what they create, there's no money in it, and I think it's probably like it's gotten worse over the years. So if anything, I think there needs to be more monetary value given back to the artists, or given back to the work that they do. I mean, it's true. Like, I don't do this for the money. Like, absolutely not. I mean, if you're joining like a rock band to make money, that's like the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. It's not about that. I mean, but I'm just saying, the ability to, I guess, get something a little bit back for your creative work, I think should be changed. I think more I think more needs to be given to the independent artists, rather than you just upload something on YouTube and then YouTube just uses it to put a bunch of advertisements which they profit off of, and not you. So
yeah, well, pretty much something like that. Yeah, YouTube does profit off some of the adverts, but
just as an example, yeah.
But depending on the creator profile that you have on YouTube, would depend on if you make the profit from the adverts instead of YouTube itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
It's the same with a lot of things that way for adverts wise. I mean, I know a lot of people, we don't like adverts. I mean, for instance, I pay for YouTube Premium, so that way I don't get any adverts on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, and it's really fucking annoying when I'm watching and suddenly an advert comes up. It's really irritating. And so I pay for YouTube Premium because I don't want the bloody adverts. Getting YouTube Music as a free bonus, so that's a bonus. I like that. I use YouTube Music a lot more than I use Spotify, to be honest.
I think YouTube is easier to use than Spotify. Especially if you want to use it for free anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But I watch a lot of YouTube, so adverts, I kind of see the point. Adverts are great, but they're not for me. I don't like adverts. If I had the power, I'd put adverts on all of my shows, so that way I could make money. But I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. So, what is your funniest story that you've got when you've performed live?
Funniest story. Wish I had a good answer for that. Um, uh, I've actually broken a bass string while playing live. I think that's pretty rare. It's not. I wouldn't say that that's like a funny story, but I guess that's like kind of rare. I mean, like I've only broken a bass string maybe like 3 times in my entire life, and like one time it actually happened in the middle of the show, and even more miraculously was actually there was someone in the audience. He like actually like held up his hand and like had a bass. Like he like was in the audience and he just has like a random bass and he like gave it to me, and it was like there was maybe like 20 people like watching us. I'm like, how does this guy even have a bass? And like maybe he was like like all the and we were the last people there to like play. It was at the end of the set, so it wasn't from one of the bands who came PP for us, but um that in itself was just like what, like yeah, like you have a bass, like because I didn't have a bass string, so I thought I was screwed. And this like hero out of nowhere just like had like a bass in the audience and he gave it to me, and like I played the rest of my show. So um kind of like funny and like a weird like
Just kind of a random miracle encounter sort of thing.
Yeah. It's like first of all, like you break it, like unless you're like I mentioned, like someone from Primus, you know, like he plays so aggressively, like he's gonna like break his string. But I just play like, you know, standard like rock. I mean, I don't usually break strings, but like first of all, like I broke it in the middle of the show, and then for someone to actually have one in the audience, I mean that's kind of funny, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us something about yourself that your fans will probably won't know about you?
I guess. Well, I mean, like, I guess with the new album, we have it. So we have a singer. He's actually no longer in the band. But the lyrics were all written by me, and we actually had a singer before the one who's on the album, and he, you know, wrote the lyrics, and then he quit, and so we like lost all the lyrics, and so we were like, what the hell are we gonna do? We were actually thinking about like hiring somebody like to like sing and write lyrics for the album, and then I just kind of like took it upon myself to like do it, and I just didn't tell the band, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna like do this. I'm gonna like write the lyrics for the entire album, and I spent like a weekend. You know, I didn't go out. I just like wrote like all the words out, and the rest is history. So like all those lyrics I wrote for that weekend. You know, after that first singer quit, you know, and he left us hanging. All those lyrics are on the album now, and so it worked out in that sense. And I guess like bass players aren't really like known as lyricists, but I've always liked it. I've always like tried to like hone like my voice and like my craft and like creating words. I'm not saying like I'm like particularly like all that great or anything, but you know, I definitely like take pride in it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, Adam, I've only got two more questions for you, and then I can let you go on your merry way.
Yeah.
But before I get down to my last two questions, have you thought of the challenge you would like to give the rest of the band members?
The challenge. So maybe you like give me an example of challenges that were done.
Okay, well, here's a list, a rundown of challenges that I have been given that are currently being saved for part twos. Now, the part two episodes have been scheduled. They're booked in. They're ready to go. So first one was the next time I had a rapper guest on, I had to lay down a verse. Done that, completed that. The next one was to have a few guests give me a random challenge. Done that. The next challenge was to have a rap battle. That's coming. The next one was to eat a California Ghost Reaper chili while singing Aqua Barbie Girl with the bassist of the band because he didn't turn up. That one is scheduled. That one is coming. Then I had to play Happy Birthday on the guitar for someone in my household's next birthday. I'm learning how to play that at the moment, so that will come when I've actually learned how to do it. I've got to eat we've got to take a dab of the bomb chili sauce while singing this obscure country song that I've never heard of.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been a couple more, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of my previous episodes to actually remember what most of them are.
I think maybe that the eating some kind of hot pepper and singing something, that'd be pretty funny, especially if maybe Astro did it. I think that would be a pretty entertaining challenge anyway.
Oh no! I just remembered the other challenge I was given on the show that I done with Jason from Blame It on the Dog. As punishment for the 2 band members that didn't turn up, them and me have to do a whole part 2 episode dressed up in some weird outfit, either in drag or some fucked up costume. We have to do a whole interview dressed up. So I'm actually looking forward to that one. Because I'm not eating a chili.
I wouldn't mind eating a chili. I don't know. I used to live in Buffalo, New York, and we, hot wings were like a celebration up there because that's where the buffalo wing was invented, apparently, in town in Buffalo, New York. So, I've kind of gotten the taste for spicy chicken wings, and they take pride in all different kinds of sauces up there, and spicy ones in particular. So, but it doesn't mean I have great tolerance either. So, I definitely could understand the pain if someone had to eat something very spicy.
Yeah. So what's the challenge that you would like to give to the band members that didn't turn up?
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll say, so in Buffalo we have this thing called atomic wings, and those are the hottest wings that you can get at the restaurant in which the buffalo wing was invented. It's called Anchor Bar, and they have
I have to do this as well, and I live in the UK, so I have to do it as well.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I have to do it with them as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know
a punishment for them for not turning up.
I don't think I can get this sauce over to you and to them as well.
Yeah, the punishment is for them not turning up, and for me not being able to get them to turn up. So,
you guys are at fault. I see. Okay.
So I have to take part in the challenge as well.
All right. Well, maybe we can circle back to it. I still gotta think about it then.
Okay, you can take your time and think about it. I can just edit it out later when I do the editing. I can just insert it in so made it. Right. My dog is here and she won't leave me alone. So, have you enjoyed coming on the show with me this evening then?
Sure, it was great talking about music, and I had a lot of fun.
Now, this next question is a really important one. And have you done many interviews and podcasts before?
No, I haven't.
No? Do you have any other interviews and or podcasts lined up for the future?
I can't say that I do. No.
Okay, well, when you do, this question that I'm going to ask you is that important that I can 100% guarantee you no one else is going to ask you it. And when you get to the end of their interviews, you'll be like, you know what? Loz from A Wee Touch of Madness. He was right. Why don't these people ask me that question? It is such an important and crucial question. Why do they not ask me it? And you'll be like, then you'll remember me. You'll be like, he was the only one who actually had the balls to ask this question.
Okay.
So the question is, do you sing in the shower? And if you do, what do you sing? I kind of had you going there for a little minute, didn't I?
I do sometimes sing in the shower. This is gonna sound maybe silly or maybe pretentious, but I actually try to sing the band songs in the shower because I sometimes I try to think of ideas for melodies as well, that like go along with like lyrics, and sometimes when I'm in the shower, I practice in there, so, because like you can't really sing like too loud,
Yeah.
when you're like by yourself. So I do, but in terms of like embarrassing, like if you want to know, like, do I sing like embarrassing like pop songs in the shower or something like that?
Like Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
That I do.
No, not even Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
If I did, I would say, but I don't.
So, have you had any thoughts on the challenge? No?
Maybe you can have like a drum off with the drummer and you. You guys can like challenge each other to a drum off.
Challenge each other to drum off. Okay. I
Like,
could do that.
Who can outdrum the other? I'm not sure how you would do it if you have some kind of makeshift drum set or what. I'm not sure.
Probably would do it with a makeshift drum kit, and because otherwise I'd have to go to a friend's house who's a drummer, and and do it there and record the episode on set with his drum kit to do it. And I don't think I have the facilities to do that. But with a makeshift drum kit, no, yeah, I can do that. A couple of empty cans and all that, just scatter about. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Not much of a punishment, but okay, we'll do it. I'll do that.
Well, I mean, are you a good drummer? Because like if I had to do it would be a disaster for me. So
no, I'm not a good drummer at all. I can't drum.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll ask not Astro because he actually plays drums. Maybe I'll ask Imric or something or Rob since they're the guitar players and they.
Yeah, maybe get like one of the band members that don't play drums.
Yeah. So not Astro. That would have to be Rob or Imric to have to do it. Yeah. Both of them, and then you would drum off with them.
So have you enjoyed your time with me then?
Yes. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and thank you again for supporting indie rock artists, and it's great.
Oh, it was my absolute pleasure. Now, everyone, that was Adam from AstroGun. It was an absolute pleasure having him on the show with me today. And if you want to check out the band, like I mentioned earlier, I will have all of their tags down in the description, so you can check them out. I'll also have my tags down there as well in the description, and they've been floating around on the screen at some point during the interview. They've just been floating randomly. If you are a artist, a musician in a band, a singer-songwriter, or you are involved in the music industry in any shape or form, and you want to come on the show, then I want you on the show. Just go over to my Facebook page at We Touch of Madness, the video podcast, and hit the booking tool. Go straight to the booking tool, book a slot, and as soon as you've booked, I will find your band on Spotify or YouTube Music, and I'll take a listen, and I'll get you on the show. In the meantime, I hope everybody stays safe out there, and to quote the sign-off that I did with my last guest, Bitchin' Hour, stay sexy and don't get murdered. See you all next week.